What's up, guys? Season 4, Episode 2. As you can see, Week 2 has wrapped up in the NFL. And the MLB is closing in on the postseason, and the regular season is coming to an end. Once again, there is a few upsets, I believe. Raiders shocked me a little bit. I didn't think they were going to win their game. There's a few teams that pulled through that I didn't think were going to pull through. I'm going to pull them up right now. And we're going to go with what we did last week. We're going to talk about my predictions for next week, for the upcoming games for this week. And let's get it rolling with Aaron Rodgers finally stepped up to the plate. Obviously, he came out and was like, hey, it's kind of bullshit that everyone thinks that I'm falling off. Like, just a bad game, and people need to relax, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, they killed the Lions, even though there's a huge betting line. Like, if the Lions won, this dude's $25 was going to turn into $700,000 something dollars. It was going to be huge upset, but kind of predicted that one. It went as what it was supposed to, as in the Packers weren't gonna lose that game. It was, people are hopeful just for betting reasons, just off of what happened last week. But it's Aaron Rodgers, man. He's not gonna do back-to-back weeks like that. I don't think ever again he's gonna play a game like that. I think it's just some beginning of the season rust. So for next week, the Niners, they're playing the Packers Sunday Night Football. There's a 3.5 point spread right now for that game. I don't really think there's going to be a huge significance in that game, to be honest. I think it's already 3+ point spread. Obviously, it's going to be a touchdown difference. I believe it could be a shootout. It could not be. We have to see how the Niners defense looks like, injuries, stuff like that. I don't think the Packers really sustained any injuries in the past week. They just their interior line, their run defense is not known for being all that well. Now, I do have to say, Ravens exposed the Chiefs. I'm kind of shocked that the Chiefs' run defense is as bad as it is, but they did play a quarterback that can just run whenever he feels like it, just because of how fast he is. But he usually gets held up towards, second half of the game. But second half of the game rolls around, and Lamar just turned it on, man. He changed the aspect of the game a little bit, and like Ravens looked like they weren't gonna win, and then their defense stepped up at the end. But it was definitely a shootout. But it is quite obvious that the Chiefs, it's not so much their O-line now, it's their interior linemen it's just not there. They have stellar corners. They were making plays, stuff like that. Their secondary is perfectly fine, but Chiefs have an issue of they do not have a run defense. Their pass rush is pretty good. Their run defense is just awful. I think Lamar just himself had 100+ rushing, plus whatever the running backs have. I don't have that stat line up, and I don't really care to look at it because it was a ridiculous amount of running going on. And passing was iffy for the Ravens, but that's expected. They're not really a passing team. They've always been a run-heavy team, which has been working for them. They might as well just use what's going to win them games. I think that's going to be a AFC matchup in the future, possibly in the playoffs, to see who makes it all the way. Ravens look, even though they're a little depleted on their run game is still looking really nice. They managed to pull something together, and they're looking pretty good. So for the upcoming week in the NFL, we have the Panthers-Texans. I think Panthers are, with Christian McCaffrey being back this year, he looks 100% not missing anything, doesn't look slow, none of that. Looks 100% healthy, so I see the Panthers winning that game 21-10. And Washington Bills. They dominated last week. They actually hurt Tua. Tua has cracked ribs, won't be playing in the upcoming week. So Bills playing Washington. That I think Josh Allen is just gonna be all over that. But Washington's defense is really, really good. Offense is shaky as all can be, but their offense is not terrible. They are using Heineke. Heineke doesn't look bad at all. I thought he should have been the starter from week 1. But Bills win that definitely by 2 scores. They're a high-scoring offense. Their offense is damn near unstoppable. They had a shaky first week, but now that they look like they're back on track. Bills are going to win this game, I would say 28-14. Bears-Browns. I'm not too sure if Baker is going to be playing in the upcoming week. Justin Fields already being named the starter for Sunday. So the Justin Fields era has already begun. Only sat the bench for 2 weeks. He did play most of the game last week, but Andy Dalton was the starter for 2 weeks, and now they are saying, I think Dalton's hurt. That's the ultimate reason why they're just throwing Fields out there. He don't really have a choice, but at the same time, they could have just told somebody else, hey, you're going to start until we feel Justin Fields is ready. But I think the Bears, they're 1-1. They didn't start 0-2. I think they want to make a push because it's still early in the season. They still have a chance for Justin Fields to step up and prove out. Which, even as a rookie, even if he doesn't do well this year, and let's say he doesn't do good next week, they might be playing a depleted Browns team, possibly with a backup quarterback next week. So he might catch a break and might get a win just because the Browns' offense is looking a little rough right now. Because I believe it's not just Baker that's out. They also have Jarvis Landry got put on the injured reserve, and Baker is questionable, and Odell is still questionable. I don't believe he's coming back next week either. So Bears I'd say is going to be by a field goal. They'll probably win 17-14. All right. Ravens, Lions. I think the Ravens are going to completely annihilate the Lions. The Lions can't defend the run. Their offense is just not all that. They weren't really doing a whole lot. They do have, some Pro Bowl weapons on their offense. They were showing that on the Sunday night or Monday night. Yeah, I believe it was Monday night game against the Packers. Ravens obviously win this. Possibly by 3 scores. I would say 30-17. Colts Titans. That game, think Carson Wentz is hurt again. Titans are going to annihilate the Colts. Unfortunately, Colts are going to go 0-3. Titans are going to go 2-1. Titans are going to win that game 24-10. Chargers, Chiefs. Chargers are they're not a team to sleep on. They are the young, talented team. They got a quarterback that can throw the ball really well. So if the Chiefs can hold back Justin Herbert, make him make mistakes, all that good stuff, pressure for the Chiefs. But they tend to lack in that category. They're secondary might shut down the pass game for the Chargers, and I'm not too sure about the Chargers' run game. But if the Chargers if they start running the ball a lot, which I believe they should if they want to win this game, Chargers have a chance of winning. I don't have them winning, though, just because it's Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and they're one of the top 3 teams, in the league. So I have Chiefs winning barely, even though they have a 6.5-point spread for whatever reason. Chiefs win just because they're high scoring, 30-28. Saints-Patriots game. Saints aren't looking too good. Patriots aren't all all that. They're both looking pretty mediocre after they both started out straight. Well, Saints came out strong, then went super shaky last week, and then Patriots bounced back. This one's going to be a close one, 2017, Patriots. Falcons, Giants. One of the worst teams going at it. Giants are going to come out on top. They just have better, younger talent. Falcons look terrible. They look like the worst team in the league as for right now. I think that's just going to carry on through the season. Giants win 17-10. Bengals, Steelers. Bengals are possible contenders if they can stay healthy. And Steelers, their offense is just not looking like it's there. Bengals, Steelers, I see the Steelers winning this just because they have a stellar defense and they usually keep a low-score game and for the opposing team. If Big Ben could come out and produce and throw huge passes, deep balls, all that good stuff, I think the Steelers are going to win this by a touchdown. 24... Maybe a touchdown, maybe not. 24-17. We'll see how it goes. And then we have Cardinals, Jaguars. Cardinals are going to kill the Jaguars. Sorry, Trevor Lawrence. You don't really look like you're up to par right now. I do see him being a future star, but just not this season. His team around him is just not all that great. Cardinals are off to a hot start, 2-0. They're looking like they're going to be battling for the top spot in the NFC West. Cardinals win this 30-21. Jets, Broncos. Broncos come out on top 21-14. Just the Jets don't look, their offense just isn't there. And their defense is just mediocre. Dolphins, Raiders. Raiders are going to probably kill the Dolphins now that the Dolphins don't even have Tua going anymore for probably a few weeks. Raiders are going to win. Their offense is going crazy right now. Their defense is looking good. Raiders are looking a lot better than what people were saying. So with that being said, Raiders win their game, I believe, 2 scores. Looking at a high scoring 34-14. It's going to be a blowout, I believe. Buccaneers, Rams. Rams are going to lose. Their defense looks like they can't hold teams back all that well. Their last game was very close. They almost lost. Buccaneers come out top just because it's Tom Brady and his offense is firing on all cylinders, and their defense is really, really hard to hold back. So Buccaneers win this game 27-17. Seahawks, Vikings. Seahawks, obviously, their defense looks like they struggled last week. Vikings look a little bit better than I anticipated. Gave the Cardinals a really hard time in the past week. So I feel as if the Cardinals might have let off on the gas a little bit, but Seahawks win this game 27-24. Possibly a lower score. We'll have to see. Packers, Niners. If Packers come out and play like they did against the Lions, this game could have a chance of being very close. Niners have in the past completely just shut down the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. So if Jimmy plays good, game plan goes our way, Niners have a chance of putting up 30-plus points. If the Packers catch us we have an injured middle linebacker right now. They got a few injuries. We lost Verrett as well, so we have a little bit of a depth issue on the defense, but we still have solid players in. If the Niners can get the run game going, the Packers are looking at a rough, long game because it looks like the injuries that the Niners sustained with the running backs last week were very minor. So a lot of them are going to be back for Sunday. So we'll still have a decent amount of running backs going. That game, I think the Niners come out on top, obviously. 30 I'm trying to come up with a reasonable score. 27-21. I think is going to be the final score. All right. And then Monday night we have the Eagles and Cowboys. That is a NFC East showdown, top dog type of game. Cowboys come out on top. Their offense is just, they got too many weapons. Dak is still going well. Their defense is pretty good as well. They're still missing out DeMarcus Lawrence. I believe he broke his foot. So with that being said, I believe Cowboys come out on top 24-14. They just have a much better team than the Eagles. Eagles offense was struggling against the Niners, and I feel as if the Cowboys have enough. They have a run game. They have a passing game. They actually have more weapons than the Niners, but for whatever reason, Cowboys went off on a shaky start. But that's the Cowboys for you. They have an amazing team, but yet can never put together good games sometimes. But so far, if the Cowboys win this, they're looking pretty good. Obviously, they'll be the favorites if they win this game for here on out, because that's just like bragging rights at that point and basically saying, hey, we're the better team. So, that being said, 24-14 for the Eagles-Cowboys game. So that pretty much wraps up all my predictions. If y'all want to quote me on my predictions, go for it. But I don't really write this down. I'm just firing off the top of my head. And that's who I'd like. If you ask me, I'll be like, I'll tell you. I probably won't remember the scores I told you, but I will definitely. I'm just telling you scores to give you an idea. So, that being said, those are the predictions for week 3. And then you'll be hearing from me next week about what I think about week 4. And so we're going to move on to the MLB. So let me pull them up. A few games look like they got postponed, probably due to weather or whatever. But I'm going to pull up the standings. All right. So, American League East. Tampa Bay's on top. 93-59 is the record. Not clinched yet. No one in that division is clinched. This American League Central. Chicago's on top. No one is clinched. Although only 2 teams are in the run in the Central, Chicago and Cleveland, as the rest of the division is already eliminated. American League West, Houston on top, have a huge lead, 8-game lead. Seattle and Oakland are right there, running for the wild card. There's only about 11 games left in the season, so with that 8-game gap, they're going to be battling for the wild card spot. Obviously, Houston is definitely locked in. They're about to clinch, I believe. National League East, Atlanta's on top, 79-70. This is by far the worst division, I believe. Yeah. Still only in the 70-win column, but Atlanta's on top. They're not a bad team, but I don't see anyone out of the East. Miami and Washington eliminated already. I don't know what happened to Washington. Made that World Series run, and now they just fell off. So, it's just Atlanta and Philly are battling for the top spot. I don't think New York's going to be in it. They're not eliminated yet, but if they go out strong, let's say, 11 straight, finish out the season, they'll be 84 wins, but they would also have to hope that Philly just falls off the wagon, which I don't think they are. Philly's a pretty solid team. They're barely in the race, though. National League Central, you got Milwaukee. They're clinched at 91-60. I think Milwaukee's going to be fine. They'll probably be in the divisional round. They're not going to have to play in the wild card. Giants and Dodgers clinched playoff berth. They're battling for the freaking National League West title, which is kind of shitty because the Giants only have a 1-game lead over the Dodgers. It's going to come down to the last game unless the Giants just go on a streaky run right now in the last 11 games. In the last 10, they're 7-3. And the Dodgers are just right on their tail with the last game, a 3-game win streak, and then they're 9-1 in their last 10 games. The Dodgers are on a hot streak. They are looking really good right now. So are the Giants. Giants are kind of they're winning one, losing. They're going every 2 out of 3 right now. They're rolling along, but just. They're cutting it close. It's a bit of a 2010 type feeling, torture, but they are on the brink of breaking their franchise record for wins in one season. They're going for the most wins title in franchise history, which I believe if they get 104 wins, that'll be the most wins they've ever gotten in franchise history. They're sitting at 98 right now. I don't think they've had a 100-win season in a very long time. I don't think anyone even projected them to even get close to 90 wins or even 80. You're only projected to get mid-70 range wins this year. They definitely threw a lot of people off. San Diego's obviously 76, 74. They had a real big fall off. I think injuries really got to the Dodgers. They're on a huge losing streak right now. Lost the last 4, and that's not good for them if they're trying to make a wild card push. But unfortunately, if the Dodgers don't get the West title, that automatically eliminates San Diego, I believe, out of the wild card run because we have way more wins. The Giants are sitting at way more wins than anybody else. Believe they still have the best record in the MLB right now. So, I do see Giants winning the West. All ESPN, all these predictions have Dodgers taking it at the end. We'll have to see. Giants finish out their season with the Rockies and then the Diamondbacks, which both those teams are eliminated. They're probably not going to put their guys to a whole lot of trouble. Obviously, they want to go out on a high note. They don't want to just give up. But yeah, Rockies, Diamondbacks. That the Giants have a chance to really put up a lot of wins right at the end. They don't have to face anyone crazy good. They actually get to finish off the season real smooth. They don't have to face any crazy. They're not contending. The only thing they're contending for right now is taking the NFC. That NFC. This is what happens when you talk about football and baseball in the same episode. Yeah, they're going for the West title, the National League West. And they do, right before they have those last 2 series, they do play the Padres again. They got to play the Padres tonight and then Thursday afternoon. And then they get to go on and play the Rockies and Diamondbacks. Obviously, Padres are a little distraught after losing last night, starting off the series really bad. Gave up. They gave up a last second, I believe it was the 9th inning. Yeah. Lamonte hit a 9th inning homer that let the Giants win the game. Padres obviously want to win the next 2 just because they're pushing for a playoff run, and if they can prove that they can beat Giants at the tail end of the season in September baseball in a 3-game series, get the best of us of 3, which it really wouldn't affect the Giants a whole much, but it'll affect the possibilities of the Padres making the wild card. Basically, Padres don't want us to fall off. They want us to stay up on top, because I think it gives them a better chance of making it. They have to beat us obviously now, but after the fact, I think they would prefer us to stay on top, because for whatever reason, a lot of teams were preferring the Giants to be on top over the Dodgers. But if history can repeat itself, the hungry teams like the Giants that haven't been in it since like 2016, they haven't been in it in a few years. You usually don't want to play those kind of teams, because they're going at it 110% effort. And you got Dodgers coming fresh off of a championship, so like those guys are like, they call it the championship hangover, like they're not really like, they're like, we just got one, it wouldn't really bother us if we didn't get one again. Obviously people want to go back to back, but like they're still living that life of, yeah, we're champions. Like they're calling themselves champions all year, so it's like they haven't got that we didn't get it type of feeling. We want it again, because they're still those guys. So with that being said, hopefully Giants don't shit the bed when playoffs come around and they carry on through. That pretty much wraps up this week's episode. I don't have much more to talk about. Go ahead, if you guys have any topics that you want me to talk about, shoot me a message. I'm on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I share it on Facebook, all that good stuff. You know what to do. YouTube, go ahead, like, comment, share, be a friend, tell a friend. I really need people to subscribe, need them subscribers. I'm trying to build a fan base, or whatever you want to call it. I need to build my crew. I need people to listen. It's entertaining when you guys actually give me some feedback and stuff. So that wraps up this week's episode, and this will be out shortly. Thank you for listening.